They had successfully used this informant to prosecute criminals in the past, and he had been with the Bureau over a decade. They've indicted him, and more is coming out about the informant, what role he played for the FBI. The FBI paid him to be a spy in Russia. They indicted him because he was communicating with Russia, but that's what they paid him for over 10 years to do. So I don't know anything about Smirnov, but the circumstances around his indictment and his rearrest and the changing of the original indictment by Weiss is very concerning, because everything that I've had to do with the FBI has been very suspicious throughout this investigation. The trust level that I have with the FBI is zero.
That was an incredible statement, Chris. What's your reaction?
Well, this is the first time in the history of the world that an FBI informant has been indicted. And that may be a slight embellishment, but it just doesn't happen very often. And in my experience, my 24 years in the Bureau, I don't remember an informant ever getting indicted for lying. And you raised a good point, Maria. He was an informant for 10 years. They have very strict criteria for informants. Every 6 months, they have to be re-vetted. When you pay them, you have to make sure that their information is corroborated from several different directions. So in this case, they ran a guy for 10 years, and paid him regularly, and yet it turns out he was a liar. Now, that calls into question all the information this informant provided, and if there were any criminal prosecutions, it would call into question his credibility in those criminal prosecutions. And you have to go re-look at it. So this was an intelligence source, so maybe no criminal prosecutions, but it certainly calls into question what the FBI was doing for 10 years with this source and how they vetted him.
So are you questioning that he was lying, or are you questioning the way the FBI handled this? Are you too suspicious of the FBI, the way Comer just said?
Well, I'm suspicious of the Justice Department. They're the ones that make decisions whether to prosecute.
I see.
I think the FBI fell down on the vetting process over the course of 10 years. But I think that this prosecution is a political prosecution. Again, in my 24 years in the Bureau, I never saw an informant indicted for lying. They lie a lot. Informants, you have to watch them. You have to stay on top of them. Whitey Bulger case up in New England. I mean, there are many, many examples of informants going off the rails. But that's the job of the agents in the FBI, to stay on top of that. But backing up on that, DOJ doesn't indict informants for lying. This is a political prosecution. There is no doubt about that.
That is unbelievable. And I know that there are vast numbers of FBI agents who are honest and want to do an excellent job. I have a friend who's one of them. But the questions around the leadership at the FBI are real. And you're not the first person to raise these issues, as we just heard from the chairman of the Oversight Committee. I want to get your take on this Illinois decision. The Illinois judge removed Trump's name from the state's Republican presidential primary ballot, citing the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause. 3 states have now kicked Trump off their ballot. 9 states still have pending cases. The Illinois primary election is going to be held on March 19th, but there are plenty of other states on Super Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, that we're going to be watching on whether or not this sticks. What's your reaction to what happened in Illinois yesterday?
Yeah, I think it's third world. I think this happens in countries in South America, in undeveloped countries that don't have the rule of law, and their systems are not well developed, and you have dictators, and they make sure that there's no opposition. That's what Putin does, for gosh sake. So, this is, again, we're in a really strange point in this country where the justice system, the courts, are being used as weapons. It started, in 2016, 2015 with the Clinton investigation, and the FBI and the DOJ taking a dive on that one.
Yeah.
So, removing people from ballots, though, that is draconian.
Yeah.
That is just rubbing out the political opposition any way you can, and they do it because they hate Donald Trump. I mean, regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, I think they feel like the ends justify the means, that he's a bad person, and they're going to do whatever they can to ruin him and get him off the ballots or prosecute him or just get rid of him. And that's not how this system works. I mean, that's not the American system.
And we saw that in plain sight during the Russia collusion lie, where nobody was held accountable at all. We are lucky enough to have former CIA official here, Mike Baker, in studio. Mike, jump in here. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, I'd like to pivot just a little bit, Chris, if I could, because I'm very curious to get your assessment of the Hunter Biden deposition from yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it was what I expected, and I think it's what a lot of people expected. I mean, he was coming out, he was on the offense, he was punching back, he was well coached. I really think that the committee, the Republicans, need to act almost like a prosecutor in this case and give him yes or no questions. You know, was your dad sitting next to you when you told the Chinese energy company that there would be consequences if he didn't get paid right away? You know, what about, were you on the board of Burisma when the prosecutor was fired by your dad? These are questions that a prosecutor would ask. You don't let him ramble on, you know, and you don't sit there and make political statements and blow hot air. And that's what I think is going to happen today in the open session. I think there's going to be a lot of people blowing hot air and not acting like a real prosecutor where you give them yes or no questions.
Yeah, and we still don't know what the business was. Why did you accept a Porsche or the money for a Porsche from Kazakhstan and 2 diamonds? Why did you accept and your family accept millions of dollars, and why did you distribute it over 20 different shell companies?
Absolutely. That's the FBI's job to dig that up, and I think this is where they fell down.
All right, we will leave it there. Chris, great to see you. Thanks very much. A wealth of knowledge. Chris Swecker, former FBI.